Hi everyone, my name's Rebecca. I'm a dietitian and nutritionist from FODMAP Nutrition Dietetics, which is a private practice company based in Melbourne where we work one-on-one with people to improve their gut health. So today I'm going to be talking about some practical tips to get started with the low FODMAP diet. So just a quick overview, the low FODMAP diet is a particular dietary approach that's been proven and scientifically tested and shown to help improve the symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome. So this is digestive symptoms like bloating, stomach discomfort, altered bowel habits, diarrhea, constipation, all that stuff that no one really wants to have. It's not a fun time. So this dietary approach, it's a three-phase approach, which is best conducted with the guidance of a healthcare professional like a trained dietitian, because it can be a little bit confusing to follow. So the first phase is an elimination phase where you go on a strict low FODMAP diet for 2 to 6 weeks. The second phase is a reintroduction or challenge phase where you test each individual FODMAP food category and see which ones you tolerate well. And then the third phase is a personalised maintenance approach where you're basically creating a dietary pattern that you can follow long term to help keep those symptoms at bay. So, 3 things that I'm going to speak about today are some practical tips on what you can have in the diet, some quick and easy adjustments that you can make, and lastly, how to actually add flavour to your meals. So let's get started. What can you have on the low FODMAP diet? So it doesn't have to be a complete diet overhaul, and there's a lot of natural foods that you can still include as you probably were eating them before. So to start with, proteins. So your meat, chicken, fish, seafood are all fine to include on the low FODMAP diet. Just look out for added flavourings in things like marinated meats, which might have onion and garlic in them, and those are high FODMAP. If you're vegetarian, don't worry, there's still options. So you can have things like firm tofu. You can also have half a cup of lentils. I recommend you strain canned lentils and rinse them well to lower the FODMAPs a bit more. Also, hard cheese is low FODMAP, eggs are low FODMAP as well, and corn, which is spelt Q-U-O-R-N, has mince and strips, which are like a vegetarian meat alternative, and they are also low FODMAP, so safe to include too. So the next group is your grains, so things like rice, quinoa, and then things like gluten-free pasta, buckwheat pasta, they're low FODMAP and safe to include. If you're looking for breads, we can still include sourdough bread at 2 slices. So you can go for a normal wheat sourdough or a spelt sourdough. But I just recommend that you go and you make sure that that sourdough is made the traditional way. So usually a good bakery will be making it the true sourdough way, which is what makes it low FODMAP. If you're unsure, a good option is a FODMAP friendly certified bread. This is one here, an Alpine bread. It's got the FODMAP friendly logo on it. So this is a sourdough bread that you can also have. It's available at most Coles supermarkets. And a common misconception when it comes to grains as well is that it's a complete wheat-free diet, but low FODMAP isn't the same as gluten-free, and you don't have to cut wheat out completely, so small amounts are actually okay to have. So you can have like 1 slice of wheat bread, maybe for a snack, or a lighter lunch, or these are another good option. These are called Tip Top sandwich thins, which are a little bit thinner than a normal sandwich bread, and they're FODMAP friendly, certified as well. So you can have one of those. A couple of sweet, wheat biscuits or crackers are also generally okay to have. So that's your grains. When we're looking at things like fats and oils, they're actually also low FODMAP because they're fats and they don't have carbohydrates. So butter, olive oil, all okay to have. So that's just a quick overview. Now, what kind of adjustments might you want to be making when you're on the low FODMAP diet? So to start with the dairy category, it's really lactose that we're talking about when we're talking about the dairy foods that we might want to be adjusting on the low FODMAP diet. So swapping your normal cow's milk for a lactose-free variety is just a quick and easy option, and you're still going to get all the nutrition that you would have in the normal cow's milk. Same goes with yogurt. You can go for a lactose-free yogurt. So Lidl's do a really good milk and yogurt that you can get, but there's a few other brands, and just look out for lactose-free on the label. A couple of brands will include a few high FODMAP ingredients, even in a lactose-free yogurt. So things like honey, inulin or chicory root, and pear or fruit juice are things to look out for in those too. You can also go for things like lactose-free ice cream, cream cheese, sour cream, all those kind of options as well that are more of those creamier and softer cheeses. I'd go for a lactose-free one, but hard cheese is low FODMAP, so your cheddar, your tasty cheese, they're fine to include. And if you're looking at plant milks, so things like almond milk are safe. Soy is another one that you can include, but just be careful because we want to be going for a soy protein milk, like the So Good one, rather than a whole soybean milk, which would be considered high FODMAP. Oat milk and coconut milk are also quite popular, but these ones are only low FODMAP at about half a cup. So okay to add here and there, but probably not your main source of milk. Then if we're looking at the grain group, so we want to be going for gluten-free pastas or gluten-free like wraps and noodles are generally good options. So that's like your rice noodles as well. If you're going for a gluten-free bread, Helga's and Genius do a couple of good low FODMAP ones, because some brands will again have a few of those high FODMAP ingredients like inulin and chicory root to look out for. Then if we're looking at things like fruit and vegetables, so this is where it can get a little bit confusing, but there are definitely some options. What I would recommend doing is to get specifics around your fruit and vegetables that you can include is to rely on or to look for information from a laboratory tested source. So that would include Monash University that came up with the low FODMAP diet in the first place, and so they have some information on the specific FODMAP levels in all your different fruit and vegetables, and FODMAP friendly. So they also test and certify FODMAP friendly food products like these ones I've shown, but they also laboratory test fruit, vegetables, all those foods that we want to know the FODMAP levels of. So they both have apps that you can download and rely and check when you're shopping at the supermarket, for example. But quick overview, fruit-wise, you can include things like your citrus fruits, so your mandarins and oranges, and also strawberries, grapes, kiwi fruit, so there's still some variety there. Bananas, if they are the yellow ones, not the brown ripe ones, but keep them at that yellow one and they're safe to have. And then vegetables, so onion and garlic are unfortunately off the charts with the low FODMAP or the low FODMAP diet. They're not really a safe option to include, but we still have other things we can have. So carrots, your leafy salad greens or Asian green vegetables, potatoes, Jap pumpkin, so the round pumpkin, things like capsicum and tomatoes and cucumber, they're all okay to have as well. So there's still a lot of variety. You don't have to stick to just one vegetable each day. You can mix things up a little bit. So then the third thing I just wanted to touch on is how to add flavour to your meals without onion and garlic, for example. So one thing I often recommend to clients is to use the garlic infused olive oil or an onion infused olive oil. This one here is from Cobram Estate, available in most supermarkets. It's FODMAP friendly certified and it adds a lot of flavour. It's really good. Then we've also got just the green tops of spring onions and leek. They can be cut up and sauteed with olive oil and they add a lot of flavour too, and they are low FODMAP. Then we have some interesting products as well. So things like these onion and garlic replacers from FreeFod. They're really good options and they can be used just a little, like a teaspoon of that will be used in the same way where you're just sauteing off with olive oil and then it creates that flavour at the start of a meal. You can also have just herbs and spices, so your paprika, oregano, cumin, coriander, basil, all these beautiful herbs are low FODMAP too. And one to mention is asafoetida, which many people on the FODMAP journey have heard of. It's an Indian spice that you can add, again, in a similar way to that onion replacer. It doesn't have onion and garlic, but you just saute it off and it adds a beautiful flavour to the start of a meal. Then for a quick and easy option, there's a lot of beautiful FODMAP friendly certified sauces, like pasta sauces and curry sauces. So things like the Legos pasta sauce. We've also got from FODMAP for You butter chicken, a beautiful slow roasted vegetable sauce, and there's a lot of different curries which are FODMAP friendly certified, so they are also safe to include. If you're going for things like snacks, you can also find a lot of really yummy and tasty certified snacks. So these are like some muesli bars with the FODMAP friendly logo as well. So there's a lot of variety. I hope that's what you've taken away from this session. If you want to learn more, you can jump back to my other video, and feel free to reach out because I'd love to connect with you and help you out on your FODMAP journey. All the best, and I hope to speak to you again soon. Bye.